Welcome to this tutorial of the Water Research Infrastructure Database and DROPLET website. The tutorial is for anyone who is interested in searching for water research infrastructure in Ireland and for organisations who would like to upload their water research infrastructure to the database. The first part of this tutorial will demonstrate how to use the EPA's DROPLET website to search for water research infrastructure. The second part will show how to register as a research infrastructure manager and upload your water research infrastructure to the database. First off is the DROPLET homepage, which is an easy to use interactive website for exploring information about both projects and infrastructure which have been funded in Ireland on water research. From the DROPLET homepage, there are two options to search for water research infrastructure. One, using the map viewer, and two, using the table viewer. We'll start off by searching for research infrastructure on the map view. The map viewer shows all the water research infrastructure in Ireland uploaded to the database to date. The numbers display the number of research infrastructures in a particular area. A catchments layer has been added to the map to differentiate the research infrastructures by their catchment. This could be toggled on or off by going up to the top right hand corner. The research infrastructures can be filtered by using the search bar above the map. You can search for research infrastructures by the research area, for example, marine, agriculture, climate, water quality, by the type of research infrastructure, for example, a laboratory, a sensor platform, field equipment, by the managing organisation, by a location, or keywords associated with that research infrastructure. So for example, if we search for marine research infrastructure, we see the pins around the map related to this. You can then zoom in on a particular area and click on any of the pins related to marine research infrastructure. Here we see some basic information about the research infrastructure here. If we want to view more information, we click on the View Full Infrastructure Details. The data collected on water research infrastructure has to be designed to provide a researcher with a broad overview of the infrastructure, who owns it, its research area and application. Data on water research infrastructure includes the name, the research area, lead institution, the funding entity, the platform type, sensor type, the location of it, when it was deployed and when it may be retired, who is the appropriate contact point, an infrastructure website, keyword tags, and a description of that infrastructure. This information will allow a researcher to find the appropriate contact point of the research infrastructure if they're interested in finding out more information, what data might be available, or utilising this infrastructure in the future. If we go back out to the DROPLET homepage, the second way to view water research infrastructure is through the table viewer. The table viewer lists all of the water research infrastructure that has been uploaded to date, and we can see these are organised by various headings of title, lead organisation, location, funder and keywords. Similar to the research map, there is a search bar which allows you to search by specific information. For example, if we want to search for a particular organisation, like Geological Survey of Ireland, we can then see all of the research infrastructure associated with that organisation or funder. Again, to find out more information about any particular type of research infrastructure, we go to the View More Details. And here again, we can see any relevant information about that piece of water research infrastructure. If we go back out to the home page, you can also see that it is possible to download all of the data about research infrastructures in the database. clicking on the Download Research Infrastructure button. This brings us to a page where you can download the file as a CSV Excel file or JSON file. For organizations and research infrastructure managers who have a relevant piece of infrastructure that they would like to upload to the database, the first step is to register as a user. A user can register on the Droplet homepage by clicking on the Sign Up for a User Profile button. This brings you to a page where there is a link to register on the Water Research Infrastructure database. Your organization may already be included in the database, in which case you can select it from the drop-down menu. Otherwise, you will need to add your organization. Please complete the full name of the organization and abbreviation if necessary, as this will allow other users to find the organization easier in the future. Next, enter your name, your email address, and your password. When you click the register button, an email is sent to the EPA administrator to notify them. When they confirm the registration, you will receive an email notifying you. You can then log on as a registered user. When you log on to the Water Research Infrastructure database, you will see the infrastructure management page. This will be blank the first time you log on, and it is possible to see all infrastructure associated with your organization, not just your own research infrastructure. This is to allow for clarity and to prevent duplication across an organization. So for example, the Nimbus Centre, Cork Institute of Technology, has uploaded data on 2 pieces of infrastructure. The menu toggle button displays the menus of various web pages: infrastructure management, management organization profile, the user profile, and the change password. To upload your water research infrastructure, go to the infrastructure management page and click on the Add Infrastructure button at the top right-hand corner. This brings you to a web page form to complete information on your infrastructure. So we'll just fill out a sample piece of infrastructure data here. We'll go with Test 1 as the name. We can then select the appropriate research area, either from the drop-down menu or as the filter. If the research area isn't listed, you can type it in the other field. We'll select who the lead organization is, Nimbus Centre, who the funding is, we'll say HEI, and we'll say EU funding. We can then select the platform type, sensor platform, and we can add other types of infrastructure there if it's not listed. We can choose multiple sensor types: air temperature, pressure, dissolved oxygen, and so on, and the communication type. We can then add in the research infrastructure address, the catchments it's associated with, if relevant, the coordinates of the research infrastructure is required so that it can be mapped on the map viewer. So if you do not wish to give the exact location of the infrastructure, please choose coordinates in the general area where it is. Coordinates can be found by searching for your infrastructure on Google Maps. If you right click and go to What's Here, you will find it gives you the coordinates in decimal format. This can be copied across then to the research infrastructure upload form in the latitude and longitude box. If there are multiple locations associated with a particular research infrastructure, for example, a network of sensors or field equipment, you can add multiple locations using the Add New Latitude or Longitude button. We can then add in the date of deployment, which is just a general date and a general date for when this piece of infrastructure might be retired. So this could be the end of the funding stream or the end of a particular project. And this allows other research infrastructure managers or water researchers to know when the project is finished up and when the piece of infrastructure might be available for further projects. We can choose whether this piece of infrastructure is accessible to the research community, and obviously there will be terms and conditions for the research organisation that owns the piece of infrastructure. Who is the contact point, their email, the website address. So this can be of the particular piece of infrastructure or the general organisation address. And then please upload or input a description of the infrastructure and its application, as well as any tags to describe the piece of research infrastructure. So the more information you can provide on your piece of research infrastructure, the easier it will be for people to find it on DROPLET. If we click on Update Infrastructure to upload the data, if all of the required fields have been filled out and there are no required fields missing, the piece of infrastructure will then be uploaded to the database, and we can see it here as Test 1. Now, if we want to edit a piece of infrastructure data, we can go by clicking on the infrastructure title. This brings us back to the piece of infrastructure upload form, and we can change any of the information here. So for example, if the research infrastructure manager associated with a piece of infrastructure changed, we could change who that person would be and their contact email address. It is important that the research infrastructure managers keep their infrastructure data up to date. For example, if an infrastructure is still deployed or retired, as this may lead to further projects and funding with other organisations to utilise that piece of infrastructure. In the organisation management page, you can edit organisation details you are associated with. Please note that these details will also be changed for any other users associated with this organisation, as there may be multiple infrastructure managers from the same organisation. You can edit your user details in the My User profile. If you want to assign yourself to a new organisation, change your email or update your details. Users can also change their password in the My User profile or the Change Password page. To log out of your session, click on the Log Out button in the top right-hand corner.